South Carolina Stingrays has advanced to the Kelly Cup Finals. Today, I talk one-on-one with the Stingrays President Rob Concannon for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Rob Concannon, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thanks for having me, Quintin. Always good to see you.
Oh, likewise. You know, the last time I saw you was right down the street here at Circle Grotto's last year for lunch. I usually go get their grilled chicken Caesar salad wrap. But,
Nice.
Oh, yeah. And I know, obviously, you're the president of the South Carolina Stingrays, and we have some good news. The Stingrays has advanced to the Kelly Cup Finals, and this is the headline from the Washington Capitals Outsider. The Stingrays advanced to the Kelly Cup Finals. Where are you emotionally with that, Rob?
Very, very happy. It's been a long year for everybody, you know, and for our organization when we made the decision back in December to play hockey during the pandemic. It came with a lot of asterisks, and our organization, our players, our staff, our ownership group, led by Todd Halloran, did a terrific job in providing some entertainment for the community. And we're glad we're on the other side of it, and I'm excited to be going to our 6th Kelly Cup championship. That's an ECHL record, and hopefully we can win our 4th, which would also be an ECHL record.
Absolutely. When you look back to the beginning with COVID to right now, what are those asterisks that still plays in your mind right now?
Well, there were a lot of, with the players, we had to test the players 2 times a week. Capacity at the Coliseum was limited to 2,700 at the beginning. Masks were mandatory. And there was just, you know, you never knew what was going to happen from day to day. You know, you could be playing Greenville, and then the next thing you know, Greenville has a couple of guys who have COVID. Then obviously, you know, coming out with the vaccine and hoping that everyone made the decision that they felt was best for themselves, you know, and so, I mean, those are just some of the things we were happy to be able to, you know, fight for that final playoff spot a couple of weeks ago. You know, the whole season we had a great start to the season, and then there was a point during, you know, January, February, and March where we were really, really struggling as a team. And hats off to Ryan and Brendan and all the players who battled hard down the stretch here, and were able to, you know, help us get into the playoffs and then ultimately in the Kelly Cup.
And what was this secret to juggling those issues in January and February?
I don't know. I mean, again, you never knew what each day was going to throw at you, Quintin, in terms of, you know, players testing positive, other teams. You know, I think stress and not being able to live a normal life, like the players, they weren't able to go anywhere. They were allowed to go to 5 different places to eat, but in a normal year, you know, the guys are able to enjoy Charleston and King Street and the beach, and that may have played into it. You know, hockey players and sports teams in general like to, you know, form camaraderie and grow relationships. And I think it's tough if you're sitting in your apartment with your roommates playing a video game and not able to do everyday things like we all weren't able to do. So I think with the vaccine coming out, and then some of the, you know, the restrictions lifting and being able to get more people in the Coliseum, that there was a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, and I think the guys embraced that, and it showed on the ice.
And speaking of ice, obviously, when the restrictions were lifted, you all had to move over to the Carolina Ice Palace because there were some conflicting events going on in North Charleston Coliseum. How did you weather that storm?
We're past it now, to be honest, Quintin. We're embracing playing at the Carolina Ice Palace. It's not an ideal situation, but we understand it hasn't been an ideal world. Normally, the Kelly Cup Championship ends the first week in June. This year, because of the pandemic, our season didn't start until December, which then ultimately pushed our playoff start date to the first week in June, and now ultimately to the first week in July. So, you know, we would have loved to have been in the Coliseum. I'm sure it would be rocking this weekend, but the guys in the organization and the staff have moved past that, and we've embraced our time playing at the Carolina Ice Palace. I feel like it gives the guys a little bit of an advantage. It's a small arena. It's a small atmosphere. The fans are right on top of everybody. We can only fit about 500 to 600 people in there. I feel like in the past 2 rounds in the playoffs versus Florida and Greenville, I don't think they were too excited about playing in a practice rink. So I think those, coupled with the guys' confidence and being able to head into the Kelly Cup, we've embraced that opportunity, and we look forward to playing there again this weekend.
And I know the two Palmetto State rivals played a scoreless first 20 minutes with the Swamp Rabbits in the control of the game. How did the Stingrays get control of the rest of the game?
Yeah, well, it was a good series. Florida was the number 1 seed in the league, and we didn't fare too well against them during the regular season, and we were able to go up and beat them 3-2. We won the last 2 games in Fort Myers. And then with Greenville, we were able to win game 1 in Charleston. Then we had to go to Greenville for 2 games. We lost the first night, and then we were able to win that second night. We were down 2-0 in the third period, and the guys rallied and got 3 goals. We scored with 20 seconds left. And then the other night, it was do or die for Greenville. We went up 2-0. I think they pushed back a little bit and got 1 goal, but then the guys kind of tightened it up defensively. They knew what was at stake, and they were able to secure the win and win the Eastern Conference Championship.
And let me talk to the big star of the team. Rookie goalie Hunter Shepard was once again a rock for the Rays, giving his team actually a chance to find their footing. When did the team find their footing?
I think we found our footing, Quintin, probably the last 2 weeks of the regular season, to be honest. We had to win all of our games. We had to get some help from, the other teams in our division playing one another. And I think on a Friday night, Thursday we beat Orlando. And then Friday, Orlando was playing Jacksonville, and Jacksonville beat Orlando. So that helped us get into the playoffs. And then we played Jacksonville on Sunday, and it was more of a last game of the season. And then, the guys have elevated their play. I think they know what's at stake. You only get, a few opportunities in your life to try and win a championship. And I think that they found their footing down here at the most important time of the year, and that's during the playoffs.
And he saved the penalty shot early in the second, which was just one of the 9 early shots for the visitors in the middle frame.
Yeah.
Shepard would finish the night with 29 saves.
Yeah.
How does a visitor perform in that middle frame?
It's just tough. I mean, Hunter's a rookie goalie. He played 150 straight college games. He won 2 national championships. He was a captain of his team, University of Minnesota Duluth.
Right.
He was under contract with Hershey this past season. So he spent a majority of time in Hershey and in South Carolina. He got injured earlier in the year, and he has been lights out for us. And when you win a championship, you need a lot of different things to fall into place. And one of those is goaltending. And if it wasn't for Hunter, we probably wouldn't be playing right now. So he made a big penalty shot save the other night. Florida had a penalty shot in the first round as well, and he was able to stand tall. So we're excited for the opportunity to play in the finals, and we know that we're going to need Shep going if we're going to have a chance to win.
And I know the tie would soon shift with the Stingrays captain, Mr. Andrew, when he hit it late with by Garrett Thompson. Thompson was given a major for charging, and the Rays would capitalize. How exactly did you capitalize on that?
Yeah, so I mean, Andrew Thompson, it was a 5-minute major call on the play. We had a 5-minute power play. So when you have a 5-minute power play, you have the whole 5 minutes to score as many goals as you want. We were only able to get 1 goal on the power play, but it was enough. The guys worked really hard on that power play, and Andrew was able to come back and play. But special teams sometimes are important during playoffs, and right now our power play is doing very, very well, and that sometimes can be the deciding factor in a game.
And I know that on the power play, Matthew Weiss scored to put the Rays up 1-0. All of a sudden, the Rays were 31-17 away from an Eastern Conference title. 12 minutes later, the score was the same, and fans of the Carolina Ice Palace could start to sense an opportunity that was a period away. But the margin for error, that is, was razor thin. How did the team seize that opportunity?
Well, you know, when the season's on the line like that for one team, there's a push. And Greenville was playing hard, and they were coming at the guys hard. And Shep made some big saves.
Yes.
The guys were opportunistic, and you know, got a second goal. But we were able to weather the storm. We were able to play good defensive style of play. We were able to ice the puck and get some good breaks and bounces, and we stayed out of the penalty box. So it was a great accomplishment for the guys.
And what is the biggest difference between 2017 and right now when you think of the Kelly Cup Finals appearance?
Well, it's funny you say that, Quintin. So we've been in the Kelly Cup for six times, and all 6 times we've had different coaches. So this year we have 2 first-year coaches. A lot of the guys on the team right now weren't on the team in 2017. None of them were. We had that terrific run last year where some of those guys were on that team, but in the ECHL, rosters change very frequently, and this year was no different with the pandemic, and that's the main difference from 2017 to now is probably the makeup of the roster and the guys on the team, and none of the staff other than myself were here during that time.
That's just amazing. Well, good luck to you all on Friday.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time again on Quintin's Close-Ups, Rob.
Thank you, Quintin. Always good to see you.
Likewise. And I'll see you probably again at the sandwich shop.
Yes, sir.